The main benefit of airline alliances from a passenger perspective is the fact that you can book multi-leg itineraries that, despite flights being operated by different airlines, have protected connections, offering travelers convenience and peace of mind. Not only are connections protected, but elite status and loyalty benefits are recognized by carriers other than your own. Today, the airline industry is dominated by 3 alliances, with the oldest of these also being the largest. In this video, we take a closer look at the history and development of the 25-member airline-strong Star Alliance. Before diving deeper into the story of the world's oldest and largest alliance, it's first worth briefly touching upon what alliances are and how they work. After all, the integrated ticketing solutions mentioned earlier as a key benefit are not mutually exclusive with being in an alliance. However, the average airline passenger is perhaps less likely to be aware of non-alliance codeshare partnerships, such as the arrangement between JetBlue and British Airways, without more obvious visual cues, such as shared branding. With this in mind, alliance membership gives passengers a conspicuous link between an airline and its partners, making them more likely to be aware of the offering. You probably already know, but today the 3 main alliances are oneworld, SkyTeam, and the subject of today's video, the Star Alliance. Star Alliance was actually the very first to establish itself. It was founded in May 1997 and came into existence through a collaboration between 5 airlines. The Star Alliance's founding members came from various corners of the world, including Asia, Europe, and North America. Those original founding carriers were Air Canada, Lufthansa, SAS, Thai Airways, and United Airlines. One of the company's reported ambitions at the time of its founding was to eventually build an alliance-wide network that would give air access to every major city on the planet for its passengers. The alliance grew quickly and strongly in its early years. Following the arrival of Brazilian carrier Varig in 1997, several other airlines would get in on the act before the century was over. This included Air New Zealand and Ansett Australia, who came on board in May 1999, followed by Japanese carrier All Nippon Airways or ANA, which joined in October of the same year. As the Star Alliance continued to grow at the turn of the century, airlines around the world saw its success and were faced with the choice of either joining the group or forming their own in order to compete with it. Obviously, some carriers would not have been able to join, considering that they would have been partnering with direct national competitors. And so this led to the establishment of 2 more major airline alliances, with American Airlines, British Airways, Canadian Airlines, Cathay Pacific, and Qantas launching oneworld in February 1999. SkyTeam is the youngest of the 3 groupings and came into being in June 2000. This was a collaboration between Aeromexico, Air France, Delta Airlines, and Korean Air. Since then, no new major airline alliances have been formed. The Star Alliance is not just the oldest, but at the time of making this video, it's also the largest, with 25 member carriers. Meanwhile, oneworld has 13 and SkyTeam has 19. Will other alliances be able to catch up? Not anytime soon, in our opinion. Not only does Star Alliance have the most airlines, but it has some of the largest carriers in the world operating some seriously extensive networks. This, in turn, gives the Star Alliance the largest collective network of the 3 major groupings. NerdWallet notes that its members serve 1,250 destinations all over the world. Meanwhile, the site lists SkyTeam's collective network as featuring 1,150 destinations in 175 countries, while oneworld, despite having far fewer members, isn't too far behind at 1,100. The presence of Air India and Air China in Star Alliance is one reason for the high number of destinations over the other groups. United Airlines is, of course, a force to be reckoned with in the US, while in Europe, Lufthansa and Turkish have their own incredibly extensive networks. Ethiopian dominates much of Africa, with Egypt Air supporting Star Alliance's African presence. All 5 of the Star Alliance's founding members remained part of the team until recently, with their shared cooperation ultimately lasting more than 27 years. However, this came to an end on August 31, 2024, when multinational Nordic flag carrier Scandinavian Airline Systems, or SAS, left the Star Alliance. This had been in the works for some time, and the move came as a result of a multifaceted investment in Scandinavian Airlines by, among others, the wider Air France-KLM group. Given that both the French and Dutch flag carriers are members of the SkyTeam Alliance, it was a logical step, therefore, when SAS joined SkyTeam a day after its departure from the Star Alliance on September 1, 2024, with minimal effects for frequent flyers. While it hasn't yet happened at the time we're producing this video, South Korean carrier Asiana is set to leave the Star Alliance due to its acquisition by and merger with Korean Air. Even after the departure of the Scandinavian airline system from its network, the Star Alliance remains comfortably the world's largest airline alliance by size, with 25 members present in its portfolio today. Alongside remaining founders Air Canada, Lufthansa, Thai Airways and United Airlines, and aforementioned 1999 arrivals Air New Zealand and All Nippon Airways, another 19 carriers make up the group. Austrian Airlines and Singapore Airlines joined shortly after the turn of the century in March and April of 2000 respectively. This was followed by the respective arrivals of Asiana Airlines and LOT Polish Airlines in March and October of 2003. The European influx continued in the following years, with Croatia Airlines coming on board in 2004, TAP Air Portugal in 2005, and Swiss International Airlines in 2006. The remainder of the 2000s continued to be an exciting time for worldwide growth at the Star Alliance, with South African Airways, Air China, Turkish Airlines, Egypt Air and Brussels Airlines all joining between 2006 and 2009. 7 more joined between 2010 and 2024, with Aegean Airlines, Ethiopian Airlines, Avianca, Copa Airlines, Shenzhen Airlines, Eva Air and Air India completing the set. Some have shrugged off the Star Alliance's size and global coverage, insisting that other alliances focus on quality over quantity. Yes, Star Alliance does have some smaller members which may not be 5-star service carriers, but there are some members who are well regarded in terms of quality and service. This includes Turkish Airlines, Eva Air, and of course Singapore Airlines. As we speak, Air India is working hard to step up its game as well. What are your thoughts on the Star Alliance and how it compares to the others? Are there any carriers that you think should join this group? Do let us know by leaving a comment.
Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.